Uh, Good morning, everyone. Hope now we call this meeting order, and that respect, let us have a word of prayer, and let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you, behold with your abundant favor, as your servants whom you've been pleased to call performance of the important trust in this county. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. Thank you, honorable members and our guest. This is Committee of Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development. And we have a matter here that we want to exhaustively today discuss. We did invite a team from National Housing Corporation. We also invited the Departments of Land, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development. We also invited the county attorney. And lastly, we invited the team from Finance Department. I hope the four teams are here, or their representative in that for that matter. Do we have team from National Housing Corporation? Good. Do we have team from Department of Lands? Good. From County Attorney? Thank you. And from the Department of Finance?
Chair, I've discussed with the CEC Finance, is on the way coming.
Thank you. We want to now do a round of introduction, and I will start from our side. My name is Ratib Ahmed Boyton, member of the County Assembly representing Nyalenda A Ward, and chair of Committee of Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development. This committee consists of 9 members. Apparently, 2 members are out on official duty. They are attending induction meeting of the Kisumu County Public Service Board in Mombasa. 2 are about to join us, but we are good to go. In that respect, let me give our able UPT speaker, who also sits in this committee as a member, to do introduction. Then you pass it over. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Our guest, Nereo Kombo, member representing Manyata B Ward, the Deputy Speaker, and a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is James Were, MCA for Nyalenda B Ward and a member of the committee. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gado Lima, MCA Southwest Nakacha, member of the committee.
Good morning. My name is Tom Nditi, a member of Bay Ward, a friend of the committee.
Thank you. We also have the secretariat that is also assisting this committee in the daily activities. And Austin, will you also take the members through the introduction?
Thank you so much. I'm Austin Ochieng Nyamoya, Committee Clerk. I would like the remaining members of the Secretariat to introduce themselves from the Sergeant at Arms. Thank you.
I'm Judith Akot, Sergeant at Arms Committee.
Thank you. I now believe you know members from the County Assembly as per the introduction that has been carried out. Now, I want to give you, I don't know where you are going to start, but you can agree on which team to start the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Victor Kanyaura, the Chief Officer for the Department of Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development. With your permission, Chair, the committee, I'm here studying for the CEC, Lands and Physical Planning, who is out of the country for official duty. So with your permission, if you allow, we can proceed with this session. This out of the invitation we received on 7th of July 2025 to appear before this committee and address the concerns which are raised, which we are going to respond accordingly. I see we have been joined by the CEC Finance. With your permission, Chair, probably you can allow to proceed with the introduction from the CEC. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honored members of the committee. My name is George Mondi Okongo, the CCM for Finance, Economic Planning and ICT Services. Mr. Chairman, I want to relay my apology for coming late because, Mr. Chairman, as you may know, we are conducting the induction of the County Public Service Board in Mombasa. There is also another event which I thought this committee was deeply involved in, the launch of the city urban plan with the FD down at the port. So I have had to postpone my going to Mombasa, but at the same time, having to go to the port to represent the governor who has gone to Akado Polytechnic. So I'm sorry for coming late. And I'm hoping that the committee will allow me at some point to go down to the port to represent His Excellency the Governor at that function, because he's gone to a meeting in Kisumu East in Akado Polytechnic. But I'm here, and I will be able to take on the questions that were directed particularly at the county treasury, but also just to engage with the committee on this subject, because we may have information that we can give beyond what was asked in the letter that was sent to the county treasury.
Thank you, Chairman and honorable members. My name is Bernard Ojuang, Director for Housing and Urban Development. Thank you very much, Chair and honorable members. My name is Duncan Otieno Ogango. I am an Assistant Counsel in the Office of the County Attorney. I'm here to represent the County Attorney. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and honorable committee members. My name is Charles Mugeni, legal attaché at the Office of the County Attorney.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Bernadette Karanja, Regional Manager, Nyanza and Western Regions for National Housing Corporation.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members. My name is Griselda Kwambai, the Principal Legal Officer at the National Housing Corporation.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Martin Chivere. I'm the Acting Credit Control Manager, National Housing Corporation.
Members, my name is John Washington Agutu, General Manager, Estate Management, National Housing Corporation, representing the Managing Director, US Eliud Mathu, who was supposed to be with us, but is engaged in another activity in Mombasa. And having been participant in this process for 20 years, I hope I will be useful to the committee.
Thank you. I want us to administer oath because the exercise that we want to take today is a very important exercise where we expect all the participants to be truthful in what they will deliver to this committee today. Maybe one person from the 4 teams. We start with the Committee of Lands. Sorry, Department of Lands, and you know why the Departments of Lands need to take the first oath.
I, Victor Kanyaura. I, Victor Kanyaura, do solemnly swear that every word that I utter for the Committee on Lands, Planning, Housing and Urban Development, truth, nothing but the truth, that every statement, declarations that I shall make can be made believe them to be true according to the Oaths and Authority Declaration Act. To help me.
I, George Kongo, do solemnly and sincerely swear that every word that I shall utter before the Committee Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development is the truth and nothing but the truth, and that every statement and declarations that I shall make shall be made believing the same to be true and according to the Oaths and Statutory Declarations Act. So help me God.
I, Dr. Ogango, do solemnly and sincerely swear that every word that I shall utter before the Committee on Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development is the truth and nothing but the truth, and that every statement and declarations that I shall make shall be made believing the same to be true and according to the Oath and Statutory Declarations Act. So help me God.
I, John Washington Yenu Agutu Jakorayo, do solemnly and sincerely swear every word that I shall utter before the Committee on Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development is the truth, nothing but the truth, that every statements and declarations that I shall make shall be made believing the same to be true according to the Oaths and Statutory Declarations Act. So help me God.
Thank you, our visitors. We just want to go straight to this issue. This committee received a communication from the county secretary, where we were requested to work on a report to transfer Ondiek Estate under number Kisumu Municipality Block 9 stroke 29 and Block 9 stroke 115 to National Housing Corporation. We are aware of the fact that there was a debt that was incurred by the defunct municipality to a tune of 1.3 billion. And in that case, the National Housing Corporation took management of 4 estates, that is Arena, Ondiek, Moscow, and Argueng Codex, in a bid to recover the debt. There has been a lot of engagement between the county government and the National Housing Corporation, where in our understanding it was agreed that the county government pays a debt of 980 million. I believe that the CEC for Finance was not in a position to pay this amount, and that is why we had an agreement of having a debt swap, where it is indicated to us that in the debt swap, the county government would release or would give Ondiek Estate to National Housing Corporation, and in response, the National Housing Corporation will release Arena, Moscow, and Argueng Kodek. I think that is the position. Now, before this engagement is done, the county assembly has a major role to play in approving this debt swap. And that is why we are here today. The committee wants to know the nitty-gritties that are contained in this MOU, so as to do a report of either to approve or disapprove this kind of engagement. Now, members, I hope up to there we are on the same page. And before we continue, I would like the the CEC for Lands, Physical Planning and Housing and Urban Development to tell us the blocks in question, that is Kisumu Municipality Block 9, 12 and Block 9, 15. Ownership of the two blocks. Do we have the title deed for those two blocks? Is what we want to give out belongs to the county government? Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, indeed, we have the title deeds for Block 9/12 and Block 9/15.
Are you in a position to provide documentation?
Yes, Chair. I was consulting with the CC Finance because legal is the custodian of the title deeds for the county assets. And as confirmed, given time, we can be able to avail them, not carry them with us here today.
I think that is very, very important because when you want to do a swap, you want to give out a property. The first and fundamental thing is that the property belongs to you. From the valuation report that we had, it indicates that the valuer has indicated very clearly, explicitly, that they could not find the document. That is why it is a very big concern to us that before we continue, we get documentation of the same. Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nerea.
Chair, allow me share with the committee and our guests that I was privileged to host a team from Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee and share a meeting with them on behalf of the Speaker. And from that meeting, I gathered, Chair, that the assets and liabilities that belong to the defunct local authorities are yet to be officially transferred to the county government. We may have the documents, yes, but still in the name of the defunct local authorities. So as a county, I think the chief officer is misleading this committee that we have the titles registered in the name of the county government of Kisumu, unless he wants to prove my point wrong.
Thank you, Chair. The title deeds are registered under the defunct local authority. That was Kisumu municipality by then. It's true they have not been transferred. But legally, the county governments, once they were formed, all the assets which used to belong to the defunct local authority automatically they transition to the county government. So we don't necessarily have to transfer under the county government of even all the other assets still under the defunct local authority.
Thank you. County Attorney, what is your interpretation of that?
Thank you very much, Chair. The Chief Officer Lands is right. Properties that were held by the defunct local authorities upon transitioning to the current devolved government structures automatically belong to the county government of Kisumu. I know for a fact that IHDRS have directed that the properties, including the vehicles, they acquire new number plates, and even the property be transferred to the county governments of Kisumu. And I think we have a window of around 3 months to do that. So that directive is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The matter we are discussing today is very important. And looking at the questionnaires that were made to the various departments here, I don't think it will be right for us to be sitting here to discuss a document that is not even our position. The first things first, we need to get that document before us in the name of Kisumu County. We are no longer municipals. Where we are sitting as today, I never worked for any municipal company. So I cannot discuss them. I want to discuss Kisumu County and Kisumu County facilities. So before you bring that document, I don't think we should proceed with this meeting. Yeah. Because we are here as Kisumu County Assembly, not Nyando County Council, Kisumu Municipal Council. So before we get the right documents belonging to us as the entity sitting here, we don't need to have this meeting. Thank you.
I can see somebody from the Washington, that is, from the National Housing Corporation wants to say something. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. The law very clear. It's that successors and fines. What that means is that the county government of Kisumu is the successor the municipal council. At the same time, as we speak here today, not all assets between national government and the counties have been shared. That is a fact, that it is a process which is still ongoing. Two, irrespective of whether that land has a title deed or not, the county government and the assembly of Kisumu is in a position to allocate land that they do own or is within its jurisdiction, which then would allow the titling of that particular parcel to any other third party done, so long as it has been approved by the assembly. It may be perhaps clearly asking for quite a bit, that we must have all the assets of the county government of Kisumu to be in its name. It is a process which all of us are involved in. And therefore, we can still proceed so long as all the processes are done. The assembly is able to approve untitled land to be allocated to a third party, so long as the process is fully followed. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Nere.
We are talking about a debt that was acquired between 1967 and 1987. The Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee has given the counties 3 months to transfer the assets into the name of the county governments. Like the vehicles, if they don't transfer, they'll be towed. So we have 3 months to transfer all the assets into the name of the Kisumu County. In the 1960s, none of us here was born. I believe even my CC finance father had not met his mother there. So what is the hurry of telling the assembly to rush and approve the debt swap when this thing has been here for years? Why can't they wait for the full transfer and then they can now tell us to swap the debt? Number two, in 1992, the National Housing Corporation took ownership, as in took collection from the 5 estates. That is Makasembo, before it reverted back. Yeah, Makasembo was also in the list in 1992. So from 1992, they've been collecting rent from Makasembo, Arena, Ondiek, Mosque, and Arguins Kodek. How many units are we talking about? And what is the rent per unit from 1992 to date? What they've collected, I believe, should be more than what they are asking for. So why should we give a whole estate when they've been collecting rent for all those years?
I want to give some direction. Honorable Gad.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think what the Deputy Speaker said is very important. National Housing Corporation is a government entity, as Kisumu County government is. And the area that they have, and their selection of Ondiek Estate is suspicious. Let them allow us bring all the documents, including mosque, Makasem, all the units they have been operating in. We must get the local legal documents of the same first. Then 2, it's now because this house is here to make the decision of whether we are going to transfer you which estate of the 5. They can't decide for us because we owe you, but you also have to tell you how we are going to pay you. You can't force us on how we are going to pay you. So, Chair, first things first. As the Deputy Speaker said, you have 3 months to transfer those documents. Can we have the documents in the Kisumu County government name before proceed with anything? Because whatever we are talking about, if you look at even the questionnaires we have, there are those who even bought the plots there. And they have documents purporting that they bought those plots. Where are we going to take them? I don't want to go into that because those are details. But first things first, we can't discuss a document that is not before us. We'll be deceiving ourselves, and you know you are under oath. We can't discuss any issue that is somewhere that we even don't know. What if tomorrow we get the title and somebody says he bought that land? So first things first, can we have the document in the name of the Kisumu County government? Then we can discuss the transfers that you are talking about. Before we even discuss how much, because from where we sit as members, we know what we've collected in those estates is more than what you are requesting us to give you. In fact, you are going to pay us. You owe us. We are going to make sure that the National Housing will pay Kisumu County. Because we know the number of units you are running, the amount you are collecting. If you didn't collect, it's not our business. We gave the mandate to collect. But now, first things first, can we get the legality of these documents before us so that we discuss it from there? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. You can see CC Finance wants to say something.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to make a small comment at this point, going by the discussion that we have had so far. And I want to agree, Mr. Chairman, that the decision we are about to make is not a small one in terms of handing over the state to the National Housing Corporation. It's going to be recorded in history that it was this government, Professor Nyong'o, and this assembly that made the decision. So I can appreciate the magnitude of it. And I can also understand when this House, just like we ourselves in the executive, took our time to be as comfortable as possible with all the details of the transaction. Mr. Chairman, I was going to propose to us, and maybe I cut you short before you could rule, that perhaps it will help if we had one very final list of documents. Because at more than one meeting, we have had a different set of documents coming up that are required to explain the process. I think at the moment we are dealing with letters that were sent to us from the Assembly. At a different meeting that we had with the leadership of the Assembly, again, there was a list of documents that were requested. If the Assembly could give one list of documents that the executive must submit, and I can understand even the discussion about the ownership of the land. I mean, it makes sense that we cannot purport to be transferring property that does not belong to us. So we have the burden of proof is on our side to show that the land belongs to the county government. I can understand that. And also the fact that Well, it does not necessarily have to be the name of the county government of Kisumu, going by the explanation provided. But if this assembly prefers that it is in the county government's name, I think that's something that should be done. So I'm requesting, Mr. Chair, that after all the considerations that the assembly needs to make, will it be possible to get from the assembly a final list of documents that, in your view, will explain this process from beginning to end? Then we'll try to bring those documents, then we come for it. Because the nature of the documentation has been changing from time to time.
I think most of the documentation that the CEC Finance is asking, some of them we have. Like in this case, even the number of units that are there estate and how much is being collected from each and every estate. But now my question is, as was put by Honorable Nerea and seconded by Honorable Gad Olima, do we continue discussing a property that is under the name of defunct Kisumu municipality and has not been transferred to Kisumu county government? And if that is the case, how do we navigate over that? County Attorney.
Thank you very much, Chair. In my view, I don't think there will be any problem, because even I'm also informed that even the assembly where we sit right now is still in the county, in the name of County Council of Kisumu's name, if I'm not wrong. So the as he had said, as had been said by one of us here, that the county government of Kisumu took over the assets and liabilities, right? So by operation of the law, anything that was that was registered in the name of Municipal Council of Kisumu definitely belonged to county government of Kisumu as I speak. Yes, that's my position.
Yeah. Just allow me give one direction. Chair, we understand and we know so well that Kisumu County Government officially inherited all the assets and liabilities. Yeah? But we are no longer defunct local authorities. It is okay. Can they wait? This thing has taken years. What is the rush? Wait for 3 months. Number two, here we don't want representations of the offices. We want the substantive office holders to sit with us in this matter. We don't want to see Kanyaura sitting for the CEC lands. We don't want, sorry, I forgot about his name, sitting for the county attorney. Because so much has gotten wrong, yeah, in these offices being represented. Yeah, like the issue of Idris has given us a lot of litigation cases, yeah, very unnecessary, because the substantive office holders are always being represented. So, Chair, even in the words of God, I propose that we don't continue with this meeting, number one, until the substantive office holders are here with us, with the right documentations. And I think the office of the CC Finance, who is the custodian of all those assets and liabilities, is in the process of doing the transfers. 3 months is a very short time. Let the housing corporation wait. You've been collecting rent from 1992, yeah? To date, I believe you're still collecting them. If you didn't collect, it is not our problem. We assume you've been collecting. So keep collecting, wait for 3 months, we discuss this issue when everything is done the right way. Yeah, that is my submission.
Thank you. I don't know whether you are in agreement whereby if you give your submission, Honorable Gad Olima takes over immediately. I can see Honorable Gad Olima wants to talk.
Mine will be very short. The submission by the county attorney and this interpretation of this house, I don't want to call it to lower the grade of what we are doing here. The fact that we are sitting here and this thing belongs to municipal council or municipal whatever, You know how assemblies run. You are the legal head of this county. And if you don't know, assembly can even sit in Aero market, so long as it's gazetted. Assembly can sit anywhere. So by you saying that even this one belongs to, that's so narrow of you and your office. Please respect this house. We can operate even on the street, so long as it's a gazetted area. We don't need this house. That's why we are constructing ours. If you need this one, we'll leave it for you in the next 3 months. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I want you to relax. I can see there's some tension that is building for no reason. I want you people to relax. We are here to discuss a very important matter that is also of public interest. Honorable Nerea and Honorable Olima, you understand that before we started, they all took an oath. And if we don't continue with this meeting today, we postpone the meeting today, call it for another day, and maybe the Chief Officer of Finance is on official duty outside the country, we may continue postponing the meeting until I don't know when. But now, there are matters that we also need to dig into and understand. Just like had been put across by one of the members, that some units have been identified, about 7 or so, that were sold and have what we call tenant purchase terms. How are we going to compensate if at all we approve the swap? Or are we going to, somebody is going to run to court and stop the process? I think this should be answered by the National Housing Corporation. We are ready. We are now giving you that piece of land or those 2 pieces of land. How are you going to take care of those who bought pieces of land and are sitting in the same block?
Thank you, Chair, and the honorable members. I'm impressed with the discussions. I think as representatives of the people, you are right to put things in proper perspectives. The reason why this assembly was asking for public participation was for the 2 parties, that is the county government of Kisumu and National Housing Corporation, to engage the people whom you represent directly so that some of these issues are addressed. It is true, when Ondiek Estate was done, the municipal council and NHC were selling it on tenant purchase. Then the sale did not proceed. But in the process, a few of the units had been paid off, so that you have in the middle of Ondiek Estate number of tenant purchasers who paid off for their houses. The same question that the chair is asking is basically what the owners of those houses in Ondiek Estate asked. What is going to be their issue? Are they transferring the entire Ondiek Estate with them on board? And they were told very, very clearly. The good thing is that they are almost at the center of Ondiek Estate. Once this process is approved, we are not going to take over the houses that have been sold to these beneficiaries. And if there was going to be anything in the future in form of any redevelopment or anything like that, it will be their choice as owners of these houses, either to buy into the new development or they be retained as they are. This was discussed by the residents of Ondiek Estate and ourselves, and we agreed on the best way forward. But because we are not taking over Ondiek Estate for redevelopment immediately, that is a question that we were going to address, because we recognize that fact that these few tenants or purchasers are owners. They are not tenants. They are owners of houses there. So part of that area would have to be excised off what is being transferred to us. So the issue here is, yes, we recognize that. We are not going to take over the houses that were sold on tenant purchase. But Mr. Chair, allow me, the reason why we are here is for the processes, because this is the final authority in terms of agreeing to any transaction that the county government of Kisumu may wish to undertake, because you are the people's representatives. What I would request the members to consider is not just saying that we have to have the title first before we discuss. There were only two issues for this assembly. One is whether that debt was owed. Two, how do we settle the debt? Because the corporation doesn't need the Ondiek Estate. The corporation would have been happier if we got cash. If we got cash, we would be very, very, very happy, rather than being given Ondiek Estate. And if the executive said that they have the money to pay to the corporation, so be it. But we needed to appraise the committee on the issues, and thereafter, then the committee can make a decision on what to be done.
Thank you. You brought a very important aspect in the whole of this discussion. We are doing a debt swap of 980, where now we are releasing Ondiek Estate, the 2 blocks, for 980 million. And you've mentioned very clearly that you will even be very comfortable if you get money than if you are given the 2 blocks. Now, this question now goes direct to the CEC, Finance and Economic Planning. Mr. George, would you be in a position to pay this 980, because the National Housing Corporation is also very comfortable with getting money than being given Ondiek Estate? Would you be in a position to get 980, or any other ways of paying? Maybe if you decide that you pay them in 3 financial years.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, that's a very direct question on whether the county is in a position to pay the money rather than swap the property for the debt. And Mr. Chairman, by the time we got to the point of swapping the property for the debt, we had looked at the county cash flows and financial positions for the medium term, and it was our realization that paying that amount from the county coffers would not work. Particularly, Mr. Chairman, if you bear in mind that the context in which we are doing this is also a court decree. There is a court decree, and that's why I think I agree with my colleague from the NHC that perhaps what we should do is, especially in this session, let's give out as much information as possible. then we can give you the documents that you need. I think part of the context which the attorney should explain is that we have already been decreed by court to pay NHC this amount. And if you look at the court file, and I don't know whether that file has been availed to the committee, it is there. It is in that court process that some of these issues were dealt with, including the rents that NHC was supposedly collecting. There was a reconciliation process, all of these things that were looked at. So as we speak, there is a court decree that has entered into the list of liabilities of the county government of Kisumu, and we are required to pay. We don't have the cash to pay at once, and a negotiation to pay over the long term has not worked either, because the moment you want to pay this money for 4 or 5 years, then the thing about interest comes in, and then the amount will move from 1-point-something billion to 2 or so billion because of the interest. If you default, the interest keeps on accumulating. In our analysis, given all the alternatives we had, including that of a staggered payment, accumulating interest, because in those negotiations, a staggered payment would only be acceptable if it was accumulating interest, because it would look like a form of credit, actually, after the decree. If you look at all of that, the cheapest option was to swap the debt with the property. And Mr. Chairman, if you allow me just an extra minute to explain part of what you asked us to explain in the letter that came to the county treasury in terms of the effect of this on the fiscal situation of the county. Mr. Chairman, the sooner we get rid of that liability from the county books, the better for the fiscal health of the county. Because, Mr. Chairman, as you know, county governments are carrying out experiments with different forms of funding outside equitable share, conditional grants. County governments even want to start borrowing. County governments want to start floating bonds. In fact, there is a bill that has been brought to this house by the executive on an infrastructure bond of the county government of Kisumu. Now, if counties, including ourselves, are to venture into the market out there in terms of mobilizing resources for development, one of the most important considerations is going to be the fiscal health of the county. And a county that has a single debt value of that amount is fiscally very unhealthy. In fact, even before you go to raising money from the financial markets and all of that, even the annual audit alone will raise questions. You have a debt of $1 billion. You have no plan of how to pay it. You may have done your financial processes, your procurement, your everything in a very straight way, but the Auditor General can still say that the audit finding on the county is what is that term called? Is adverse. Yeah, just because of the value of debt that you have, for which you have no clear plan of payment. So it is in our interest as a county to get rid of that liability as soon as we can, especially again for fiscal. I mean for financial prudence. The prudence question here is, once you have a court decree, the day the decree is issued, the longer you wait, the more interest it gathers. Some of the decrees that we are dealing with from the municipality that we are paying now, you know them, Mr. Chairman and members. Some of them had values like 28 million. I know of one where the value of the decree was 28 million. To date, we have paid about 115 million or so, and we still owe that person about 100 million shillings. I know of another one where the decretal sum was 19 million. So that we don't continue to let this county sink, so that is what will happen. And you know, the thing is, the court is involved. A ruling has been made. You know, if you don't pay, and if you don't pay plus the interest, somebody is either going to effect a warrant of arrest on the basis of, what is it called, contempt of court, or if they decide not to go that direction, they will do what I'm told is called garnishi or something, They will go and impose, restrictions on the county bank accounts. These things are real. They happen. Somebody who is carrying a court order, and we have messed up with so many of those decrees from the municipal days that if this one can be saved.
Point of order, Chair.
If this can be saved.
Point of order, Chair. Point of order. Chair, allow me remind this sitting that the assembly and to an extension of this meeting as hello? And so we still as an assembly cannot be intimidated by the ruling of a high court. The NHC can go to the Court of Appeal. Chair, why do I feel like our officers are giving NHC ideas? How much is owed to the county by other people? Too much of it. We have a single stream that can give this county more than what NHC requires. And those establishment of or collection of those debts lies squarely in the Department of Lands by production of evaluation roll that will allow us collect rates that is owed to this county, together with the Office of the CC Finance. So they have the sole responsibility of enabling this county collect more than it owes. So giving NHC ideas on what to do to the county if the debts are not paid gives me an idea that even the CC Finance is not with us. Are you with the county or with the NHC on this matter?
Chair, if you may.
The question has been directly posed to CC Finance. Are you with the county or you shift your position? In terms of what we are talking about.
Mr. Chairman, I only have one gainful employment with the county government of Kisumu. I have no other. In fact, I don't know where the NHC offices are, both in Kisumu and Nairobi. I don't know the location of their offices. But, Mr. Chairman, I have seen it happen. It is not a joke. And I don't think the things I've said in terms of recourse are any form of education to NHC. I think they're basic knowledge. People know that. We go to court to enforce debt collection and so on. I would not like us, being the executive and the county assembly, just like I said earlier, to also preside over one of the most disastrous accumulation of liability as we watch, because it could happen. This liability in terms of the amounts owed to NHC by virtue of the decree has entered our books. We like it or not. You know, when the matter is still in court, it is called contingent. It is contingent because it could materialize or not materialize depending on the ruling of the court. Up to the time of the ruling, it is a contingent liability. After the ruling and the issuance of a decree, it is no longer contingent, it is an actual liability. And when you're dealing with auditors, you got to deal with the question of how are you going to pay. And like I've said, if you cannot convince the Auditor General on how you're going to pay the debt, even if all your procurement files are clean, they might advise you in terms of your financial position. So I'm not with NHC. I'm just saying what could happen to the county, which we must not allow to happen to the county.
Chair, thank you very much. I think the matter being raised by the CC is quite okay. But he must know that this county belongs to the county assembly, which is the first biggest arm, and the executive is the lower arm. And that is why this thing cannot go. If it were for the executive, they would have transferred it like last year. But because we are the bigger arm of the government, we are stopping it at this point, because we are the representative of the people who live in Kisumu. NHC is a national government entity. It's not an individual entity. I don't think they're running anywhere. If anything, we get money and we pay taxes to that national government. And the issue of decrees that Waziri is talking about are issues being done, and we know some of them are being managed by our county attorneys who were there before. They were negotiating with them outside the courts to get these decrees. And therefore, even if they are going to auction the whole of Kisumu County, we are not going to be seen as the members who sold Kisumu. Even if their NHC is going to take the whole of Kisumu County, let them take it, but not with us approving it. We must get the right documentation, we must get the right information before we approve anything here. We are not going to be a stamping authority to anything that is wrong. And that's why I'm saying the issue and the rush of that, we have got the decree and the interest and all that. Because even from what we know, NHC wanted 980 million. When they went to their board meeting, it's now 1.5 billion and something. They have already raised it by 600 million. We are not worried. Just go even to 3 billion. But so long as the right processes are done and we get the right information as the representative of the people, so that when we leave this house and we meet the residents of Undiek and any other state outside here, we'll tell them that whatever we did was this, this, and this. These are documents we have. This is the truth. This is the wrong. But for us to be seen to be stamping authority, just to stamp ideas from the executive because they have done their part, is not going to be in this house. And therefore, I urge this committee that before we get the right documentations, we cannot proceed this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable God. Washington.
Thank you. I get the gist of the matter from the honorable members, and they are right. But I want to put certain things in perspective. We are not in a hurry. We are not in a hurry to get this resolved. This matter was resolved by municipal council in 2005. And at that time, the council approved the transfer of Arena Estate to National Housing Corporation. The only thing that stopped it is the coming on board of county government. But in everything that the processes that we went through, the executive and then the council, it had been approved. And we have been waiting for transfer of Arena Estate to National Housing Corporation from 2005. Now this time when we were meeting with the executive of the county government of Kisumu, if Arena was transferred to us, it was going to be very expensive to us because it was the corporation that was going to now pay the county government, almost 600 million. It is the reason why the county government decided to look at all the estates that were there, and one which had a value which was as close as possible to the debt. The actual debt is 1.55 billion. That is the actual debt. In the discussions that we have had with the county government of Kisumu about rent not being collected, about the high rent, we have had to forgo a lot as National Housing Corporation. Otherwise, what we need to demand is 1.55, and if we allow the interest over the past 6 months also to come into being, then we would be getting towards 2 billion. So we have, as National Housing Corporation, given almost 600 million to the county government of Kisumu in this process. This is not the first county where this debt swap has been done. Up to April, we did one. They also have their assemblies. We have done 24 out of 47 where we have resolved debts. As we speak, it is only Kisumu and Siaya, Trans Nzoia that owe us more than 2 billion, 2.1. Those three counties. As one of your own, because I come from here, as one of your own, I would be much more inclined towards development and partnership rather than discussing historical issues that have been in existence before most of us were not born. But the debts which were incurred by your great-grandfathers, even the Bible says, you will pay. We are not pushing the county government to resolve that today and yesterday. But even if you don't resolve it in the life of this assembly, the debt will not disappear just because you have refused to understand the basis of the debt and the possible solution to that debt. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Can I ask a direct question?
1 minute.
I believe he's Mr. Kum. Agotu. Maybe you can tell us who is collecting rents today from these estates? And why are we talking about penalties or interest? Who is collecting rent?
Thank you. Chair and honorable members, if you gave us a chance, we would have told you everything. The issue here, what the component of this debt, where is it? The component
Chair, mine is a direct question. Who is collecting the rent?
We are collecting the rent. That is why I want to explain. The biggest part of this debt comes from the second urban project, which is Migosi Site and Service Scheme. And this assembly may be interested to know that all the documents which were relating to the Migosi Site and Service Scheme were burnt in the former municipal registry. And when we tried to work backwards with the county, with the then municipal council, to reconstitute the data, the records, the gentleman who was seconded to our team from the council was almost killed and had his eyes gouged out. That is something that this committee needs to know. It is not about the rent. The biggest part of the debt is in Migosi Site and Service Scheme. And that is the reason why in that particular scheme, even now, people cannot get title deeds because the then council had engaged a surveyor to even give us titles. And that surveyor has not been paid to date. And none of those people can get. The largest portion of this debt is there. The amount being collected in terms of rent cannot satisfy or cannot meet even the monthly payable. It is not even 1/8 of the monthly payable because of that debt. That is what may need to be understood. And secondly, and finally, that the county government of Kisumu, in the discussions that we had for the last 2, 3, 5 years, they have imposed on the corporation even higher rent and assume 100% collection for us to reach to that figure of 908. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chair, if you allow me, Chair.
Okay.
I'm gathering that the debt we are being told to pay here does not exist because they don't even have the documents. They said somebody burnt them. So there is no proof that NHC gave county any debts. If they don't have any documents to prove that they extended a credit to us, then they don't have a basis of asking us to pay.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you.
Number 2, Chair, he has acknowledged a collection, but he's saying it's not even an 1/8. So how much can he tell us? Because he knows how much are they collecting per month, per unit.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Nerea. George mentioned something that there was a court decree. That is civil case number 26 of 205. And we were provided with this where the ruling is that on 17th September 2018, the court delivered its judgment in which it held the plaintiff, that is the county government, on to the defiant, that is the National Housing Corporation, a sum of 565 million 71,199. That was at 31st December 2009. So this is something that we cannot run away from. That is the truth of the matter. That was in 2009. From 2009 up to date, the debt has not been settled. And it puts the county government into a very bad situation, as was just mentioned by George. If the county government maybe wants to do some loaning or something of the sort, you will be reminded of this bad debt. I hope you understand now where I'm heading. Just a minute. Now, just hold it. There is also this concern about the number of units that the National Housing Corporation is collecting and the value. I have a copy, not even a copy. Okay, fine, a copy that is stamped by the National Housing Corporation, giving us the details of how much they are collecting from Arena, Moscow, Arguins Kodek, and Ondiek Estate. Honorable members, let me just take you through this. This is a very interesting thing. Arena, we have Arena Phase 4. Arena Phase 4, there are 4 blocks. Arena Phase 1 and 2. Arena Phase 1 and 2, 2 blocks. Arena Phase 3, 1 block, or 2 blocks. Now, Arena Phase 4, the first one, 1 bedroom, 267 units. And the rent there is 930. Yes. Shillings. Arena Phase 4, the second one, 1 bedroom, 32 units. Just listen. 32 units. The monthly rate is 1,280. Thereby they are collecting 40,960. Just take note. Phase 4 again, 1 bedroom. There's only 1 unit where they're paying 3,000 shillings per month. Then 2 bedrooms. Very interesting. 167 units at a cost of a rent of 1,150. 1,150, and there are 167 units, 2 bedrooms house. Another one, another one, 2 bedrooms. There are 8 units at 1,440. Then phase 3, we have another 2 bedrooms, 48 units. The rate is 1,570. 48 units. And another 2 bedroom, 2 units, they are paying 2,200. This document came from them. Now, we go to Mosque Estate, 3 bedroom. Honorable Gadu, orderly, Honorable Nereo. 3 bedrooms, 77 units. 3 bedroom goes at 1,635. 3 bedrooms. And there are 77 pieces. Another 3 bedroom goes for 2,400. And another one also 3,500. Another one goes for 6,000. Then there are shops, 3 shops, each going for 4,270. Arguins Kodek Estate, We have 3 bedrooms, 48 units, going for 2,480. Then we also have a 2-bedroom units 157, going for 1,100. 2 bedrooms 1,200. Another 2 bedrooms, that is one at 4,000. Then on Diek shops, we have 3 units going for 4,269. This gives a total of 168 units. And 832 units total. 832 units from the 4, giving amount of 1,073,154 per month. Are we in the picture?
Yeah.
We may not know how they reached at this low rates, but what you are telling us is that you are collecting 1,073,154 per month. Is that the position?
Chair, NHC has houses, for example, in Kibuye, and I've been a tenant at some point, where a 2-bedroom house goes for 30,000 per month. So, and ours, they charge 52 shillings per month.
Thank you, Honorable,
Chair,
Honorable Member.
Chair, I think this is a scheme to steal from the county, and I want to use steal, actually to rob the county.
That is
it's very unparliamentary.
That is non-parliamentary, Honorable
Nerea. It's very unparliamentary, Chair, but that is the position, that you cannot charge your own house the same unit structure, charging somebody 30,000, and then because you want to steal from somebody, you lower the rate to a mere 52 Kenyan shillings. No. I'm not getting it. No, Chair. I think we need to get a valuer to go and revalue these units, because what NHC is giving us, I don't care who they are colluding with, whether county attorney or the CEC finance or the Department of Lands, but as an assembly, it is wrong to allow the debt swap, because definitely it is them that owe us. We don't owe them.
Let me give some clarification, honorable members. How the rates were reached may not be our concern as at now. Now, what is in play is that these estates are now attached by the National Housing Corporation for that debt. Now, whether the tenant who is in a 1-bedroom paying 930 is the real sense, or is paying, or somebody has rented that 1-bedroom and paying maybe 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000, it's a question that they can tell us. But again, CEC finance, look at the potential that we have here as a county. This is now what I want to bring to your attention. You advise us to give 168 units. That's it in Undiek estate, which as at per this rate is giving 197 1,909. And we receive, if the debt swap is done, from Arena only, the county government will get back 525 units from Arena, 91 units from Moscow, and 48 units from Arguins Kodek. How many units are that? Or are these? 600 and? No, it's more than that. 525 plus 91 plus 48. 664. With the rates that we are having as per this document. Now, George, we take 664 units and give the market rate. Don't you think this is an avenue where the county government can breach the own source revenue deficit that we have? George?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was seeking the advice from people in the Department of Housing. You're right, because I think we've been talking a lot about the swapping of the debt and the estate, and forgetting about the other estates that now NHC is going to release to us, the potential that there is, which you yourself have spoken about, in terms of us getting more revenue. So either way, and particularly if you go by the valuation, because the best thing you can rely on when you're giving out property for a debt is a valuation, just to be sure that the value you're giving away is not, less than what you're getting and so on. So we have a proper valuation of the asset that was done jointly by the NHC and the county government of Kisumu Department of Lands to the satisfaction, professional satisfaction of the county government. So as far as Ondiek is concerned, we believe that we have gotten a fair trade-off. On top of it, NHC now is releasing the other estates, isn't it? Where now we are going to collect the revenue. So I am saying that all the professional assessments that could be done have come to that conclusion that it is a fair, and we must do this because, just like I said, even the debt swap itself will be audited. It will be a big issue in the audit. The Auditor General would like to see all the valuations that were done, whether they were professionally competent and so on and so forth. It will be audited, and we cannot go into it knowing that we are going to be found at fault. In addition to that, as I end, Mr. Chair, and I agree with the line of discussion taken by 100 members here, that the Assembly has the powers, to review these things and make other findings and so on. I wish I could be educated on how much or what scope is available to the Assembly to deal with some of these issues. Because if it were the case and the truth that in fact the Assembly can even consider the decisions of the High Court and failed appeals at the Court of Appeal and get off some of these liabilities from the county government, I would be a very happy person, because I'm dealing with many court rulings. Maybe this one, I probably don't have a big issue, but I'm dealing with many court rulings that don't make sense. So I wish to be educated on the powers of the Assembly to deal with court rulings that don't make sense. The way we've been proceeding, on the advice of our county attorney, is that a ruling of the court can only be overturned by another court of a higher jurisdiction, isn't it? I want to learn whether the county assembly can actually save us from unfair court ruling. Then I will bring more. Thank you.
The county attorney needs to go to the court of appeal. That's why we are paying it. Yes, why should they appeal? Chair, yeah, 1992, 2025 is 33 years. 33 good years. That is my issue with NHC. For 33 years, for 33 years, they are collecting rent and they are deciding on the rates to collect those rents. Yeah. I really want to know the sitting that approved the rates at which they are collecting. Who was the valuer? Yeah, because it's very unreasonable. Maybe then, but when times adjust, yeah, and the rates are adjusting, why didn't they readjust to the current rates? Why did they stick to the rates of 1992?
Thank you. Oh, I just want to give some clarification before I give you. You know, being that the said estates are under National Housing Corporation, whether they review the rates as per the market rates, the county government is still getting nothing. It's them who will be getting this money. But I say that we are dealing from a court decree where maybe the county attorney could have appealed at that particular time. That was 2005. Do you want to make appeal in 2025, 20 years after? This is overtaken by event. Now,
Thank you very much. Let me make this clear. It is true, as honorable member has indicated, that the management of this estate was taken over by NHC way back in 1992. In the year 2005, they attempted to access their right to dispose of the property by way of sale. That's how we went to court. So actually, we filed this court. You realize that this matter was filed by the Municipal Council of Kisumu against NHC. It was filed in the year 2006. We filed it. The judgment was rendered very late on the 17th day of September 2018. That's when judgment was rendered in this regard. Now, if you look at that judgment, Honorable Chair, which is in your position, you'll see that the issues that are being addressed or canvassed now were actually canvassed before the court of law. The issue of rents, of the rates, the same way that the Assembly has concerns with them, the same way that you also had concerns with them at that particular moment of time. Number one, when the county government wants to collect rents on the estates, it does so by way of fee and charges. What's known as Finance Act today. The defunct Municipal Council of Kisumu used to have what is called the user fee and charges. So our case then was that the NHC was charging lower than what it ought to have charged. But then, even with all those facts, the court still decided that you owe them this money. So that the ruling that was subsequently delivered in 2019, 4th day of December, also in your position, there's a ruling, yes. You don't have it? In the advisory. In the advisory. There's a bundle of documents in the advisory. Please just check. Come for it, huh? Not that one. So the ruling, Honorable Chair, was delivered 1 year later after the judgment. On 4th day of December 2019, where the judgment entered was confirmed to be 565. Chargeable interest, fee and charges, the subtotal was 1.02 billion Kenya shillings. That can be shared. Thank you. I wanted to make that clear.
Just one clarification. When we were discussing with the county government of Kisumu, the issue of rent and market rent collectible was under discussion. And Professor insisted that we would proceed on assumption that what was in the County Finance Act is what we were charging. And to the extent that if we were charging 930 and the Assembly had approved the Finance Act of this county government at 2,000, then we would proceed on 2,000. That is why I explained when we were working these figures, we have had to forego almost 600 million. Why? Because Governor and his team insisted that we would proceed as if we were charging rent that was approved by this assembly. We are also aware, Chair, even some of the approved rates that you have given to the executive have not been implemented. Why? Because the residents have gone to court and they have resisted the new rents. We have also done so in the past, and we have evidence to prove that we increased rents and we were stopped by the courts not to increase rents. So the politics here, I am certain that the corporation doesn't have any rent here amongst these houses where we are charging 30,000. These 4 estates, we don't. The rates that we are charging are the ones that we have given you, and we are not charging any other rent. So you take all this into account, that to arrive at 980 and not the 1.6, Governor assumed that we were paying the rents that were approved by the Assembly. And that is to address one of the issues that was raised by the Deputy Speaker. That it is not true that the corporation and the county government have sat somewhere and then just decided that 950 is basically what we are charging. The issue is to arrive at the figure of 980. All these have been taken into account. And if you want the details, that can be provided, that the governor insisted. That if we didn't collect, that was our weakness. But as I said, the elephant in the room, negotiate site and service, we are not collecting. And Chair, this Makasembo was one of the estates we did. Illegally, it was transferred to lab fund. Illegally, because we were the ones managing it. It is part of the active cases here. It was not the law. Cap 117 is clear. Once we have taken charge, you don't transact on that particular estate. And it was done behind our backs. And it is a matter which is also in court. And if the court decides that that was done illegally, of course, we are going to get back all those houses. But we thank you. We just wish to inform the members so that they can deliberate and with more understanding of the facts that have been at play. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think what Mr. Washington has said is what I wanted to bring to the attention of this House. Because what you've read there, if you were to go by that, then we'll not be going anywhere. This House from 2013 has been making finance bill that becomes act each and every year. And therefore, what we are going to discuss with NHC is our finance act from 2013 to now. Because even now we are making another finance bill we are working on, I think from next month. So each and every year they have been collecting, we are going to use our act to dictate what they have collected. That notwithstanding, there's a proposal you gave Waziri Finance that if we were to release Undiek, then remain with the rest, we are going to get more revenue. I think if you were to take those estates as a whole, then Waziri Finance negotiates with the NHC on how to pay them. We can collect more and the county can get more revenue than giving them that estate. If we were to have our 832 units and make them to the standards that they need to be now, we are going to collect more than 15 million a month in those units. It means to pay them will not even take us 7-8 years. And we shall have paid all that debt without selling our property. And therefore, Waziri Finance, that's a route you should check on. Looking at our finance act that we have in terms of the bedrooms, 1 bedroom, the shops, and the 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. if you were to take those things back and you negotiate with the NHC on how you're going to pay them, even if it's every financial year, how much, we can get more revenue from those units than giving them that property. So that when we now get partners to partner with, we get somebody who's going to develop those things on our terms, not giving it out to swap debts. Like now you are hearing of a case where the property they are managing was taken behind their back. That's what you are saying. Before we transfer this one also and we say that the assembly approved, then the people say that it was done by their back. We need the documents here. So that it becomes very clear that we are approving these documents and become in our answered and our files that these are documents we are transferring. How could you have transferred a property that they are managing without their knowledge? And now, tomorrow you tell us you have a court case and you have a decree, we have a need to pay. We need to appropriate for you to pay those bills. While you did it at their back, we are not informed. So I think, Chair, these documents, we must have them. And this information, we must get them. But again, before we release this property, you have to negotiate on how best you can pay, if you have to pay, and to release these properties to them. Thank you.
And in the meantime, Chair, let the office of the county attorney appeal the decision of the court.
Thank you. Honorable members and the team we have. CC Finance. The discussion that we have here is to release 168 units and get back 664 units. You see all this? Yes. Members of the county assembly sit here. And this report is going to come in this house. Just see, only 3 or 4 members were here. And this is the kind of discussion that we've had. When I will be tabling this report, 47 members will be looking at me. And I will have the burden to prove to them why we need this debt swap. One of the most important aspects that I want Waziri George and Waziri Konyango to bring forth in this report is that the 664 units that is going back to the county, how much is the projection that we will be getting every month from the rents? And that will also translate to how much we will be getting annually. George, you know you are struggling with the own source revenue. And here we are collecting money from this. So I want you to give me evidence, proofs, and details of convincing 47 members. That is very key before we go and do our report. Now, I want to draw you back to, you mentioned something of the public participation report that was brought to us. The public participation report that has been brought to our table has not been signed by anybody. So if I table it here, anybody can challenge me. That is just something that was written under a tree when people were taking maybe soda or some other thing. Honorable Nera likes coffee. And Honorable Gadolima likes the other one. If this report is brought without any signature by the chair and the secretary of that meeting, then it doesn't hold water. So we want you to work on that before we do our report. We have already understood where we are going. I'm happy because we have already understood where we are going. So with that respect, George, give us these figures. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Nerea.
The public participation report need to go beyond Ondiek Estate. It needs to go countrywide, countywide, because it is a matter that concerns the entire county, not just Ondiek.
Thank you, Honorable Nerea. I think I wanted also to mention that, because fine, the public participation, the first publics are the affected persons. But now this is now a county-wide matter. So as much as you are bringing us the minutes and matters that were dealt with as part of the public participation only within the Undiek sector, it may not met the threshold of the public participation because it is a county matter. We require that you also hold a county-wide public participation and get their views. Is that noted?
Annulment of the decision of the council, because this is a class of people that really messed up Kisumu County. They sold a lot of our assets. So maybe even the decision of giving Ondiek away was an influence decision. So we may even need to annul that decision. And that's why we are asking the county attorney to appeal the ruling of the High Court.
Thank you. Waziri George, you want to say something? Okay.
I just wanted to seek your indulgence. I said at the beginning, there is the launch of the urban development plan by the AFDB, and we are required to go there together with the Chief Officer of Urban Development, even with yourself. So I really wanted to request the indulgence of the committee to allow me to go because, like I said, I am representing His Excellency. But just as a final comment from where I began, the chairman, all of us are keen to ensure that the right thing is done. Because I sit here today as a CCM for finance, and the decision we take, even under our own signatures, are heavy decisions of public interest. This is possibly one of the most difficult ones we have had to do. So there is no doubt whatsoever that from the county executive side, and particularly the county treasury, we would like this to be done in the best way possible. So if it means that a little more time is allocated to the process that is going on here at the county assembly, then let's do that. But of course, the county attorney will tell you that we are before a judge who has kept on pushing dates, isn't it? I think the new date we have is when? Is it September? Okay, so maybe we do have some time. So I'm just requesting, okay. Yeah, so I'm just requesting that we satisfy ourselves. And I was happy to hear NHC saying that this is not the first one they have done. They have done them across, in many counties. That does not mean that it must happen here as well, but I think there are places to benchmark. I also agree with Mheshimiwa Nerea that some of the things that were done by the municipalities, especially just at the point of transition into the counties, were very bad, were extremely bad. That's true. There are many things that were given out for a song, and individuals benefited. That's also true. So if we are going to be very honest and objective and transparent about it, then let's make sure that we do it well. If decisions of the municipal councils can be reviewed under the law, standing orders of this assembly and so on, I do not know. The only thing that worries me is that I have a decree which is a liability. So all of these are nice to say. I just want to see when they end, because the ultimate implication is I have a decree which is a liability, and I have to discuss how I pay. I can also go into another meeting where we are discussing what happened in Ondiek and who stole which piece and so on. That's all very good. The problem is you have a decree. Whether it was fetched corruptly, it doesn't. I have decrees that I believe are fetched corruptly, but I have to pay. Yeah, and I go to the police cell underground at the High Court building, and I get handcuffed, Mr. Chairman. Not a joke. I get handcuffed with the Chief Officer of Finance. We go down underground to the cells because of decrees that are fetched corruptly. And the law is another word that I can't say in the assembly. Yeah, so we can say all of this. It is nice, politicians, you can say, oh, you know, Diek was that, and the councillors, fine. But for me at the Treasury, I have a decree. There would be there would be a finding of contempt of court, and therefore committed to civil jail. Or a creditor will take some other action on the county. So let's investigate, let's ventilate, but let's put a limit, because there is a bottom line. There's a bottom line.
Thank you. Bernard, you want to say something? You've been silent for long. 1 million. George, before you leave, I think you took note of the 664 units that I mentioned. I also want you to take note and give us information about the Migosi scheme. That, what? I want to talk about, you give us information of what is at those sites, the Migosi sites, and how is the county government benefiting from them. Because this is what has brought...
We have documents to show that we actually gave the loan. That is here. I can share with you. What I was referring to, when we did these sites, it is the then council that identified beneficiaries. It is the council that collected money from the beneficiaries, not NHC. Every loan facility, even their locations, were being done at this local level. Those documents is what was lost. But between us and the council, we have documents here to show we extended the loan. Majority of the debt, I will repeat, is in that second urban project. So what is the issue here is, what is it upon let's say settlement of the debt? What can the county government of Kisumu do to recover some of the monies that are owed by the beneficiaries of the site and service scheme? We reconstituted a list of beneficiaries, and we were doing it jointly with the council. We even advertised it in the papers, a list of beneficiaries. The county government of Kisumu may still look at this particular debt, pursue the individuals, whether dead or alive, or value the parcels of land belonging to various beneficiaries, and even get more money than what the transfer of Diek do. Thank you.
I hope it is very clear. We need to go to know, and we also need to know the benefits of the Migosi sites, because this is what has brought the problem that we are now discussing. The beneficiaries we need to.
Chairman, thank you. What I wanted to say, I think, has been said by Agutu. One, I think the approval by the cabinet. One of the approval, apart from approving the debt swap, was approval of constitution of a committee to investigate the Migosi site and service scheme. I think it is upon us to, if this debt swap goes through, to have that committee in place so that we can recover, because we are all 50-50 in the whole process of losing Ondiek to National Housing Corporation, alive to the fact that there are people who are living comfortably in Migosi site and service scheme who led us into this problem. That was a request we made to the cabinet. The cabinet approved it, and I want to believe it's a work in progress. I wanted to respond roughly on what to expect in the event this debt swap goes through, because now that really is in my docket. We are talking of 664 units. In our current rates, I am estimating that this is going to give us roughly 6 million per month. If we apply the current rate for, we don't charge market rates in government. Our rates are slightly lower than what you would charge. Someone would charge you for your 2-bedroom in, say, Polyview, for instance. So I'm saying we'll be able to get roughly 6 million. And this will then translate to us collecting roughly 72 million in terms of rents annually. Well, how I look at this is coupled with the value of land that we are getting in terms of infrastructure asset to the county coffers. I was of the opinion that the county stands a chance of benefiting more in this arrangement as opposed to if we let the status quo remain as it is. So that is why it has always been our prayer that the assembly will consider this debt swap for the benefit of everyone, for the benefit of county assembly, county government of Kisumu, and for the benefit of National Housing Corporation. Because yes, I was calculating the 1 million that they are collecting annually, monthly, which is translating to 424 million for the 33 years they've been collecting rent. You can see that even if you let this go forever, I don't know whether they probably don't have the leverage of adjusting rates or rents the way we do as a government, because as we are a government, they are a corporation governed by their own statutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Departments of Lands and Finance, you provide us with the information that we need in terms of the units that we have mentioned. And I think at this point, we want to come to the close of this meeting. But before we close, maybe if you may have some final remarks, John Washington.
Thank you, Chair, and the honorable members for giving me, the corporation, a chance to be in this assembly for the first time, and of course to also appreciate the deep insights that we have been given by the honorable members. I indicated right from the very beginning, I was also not born in 1967, but these debts that we are referring to, the resolution is as a result of a cabinet decision that was done in 2005. At that time, National Housing Corporation was fighting with very many local authorities in terms of trying to get this debt resolved. Because the Act actually even allows us to just title any of the estate and the registrar will issue it without going through the entire process. Because of that fight, the government of Kenya invited both the local authority and National Housing Corporation and our ministry, and the paper was presented in cabinet, which was discussed, and that is when it was directed by the cabinet that this matter of debt being owed by local authorities be resolved. Either those who can pay, like even in this process, some have paid cash. Those who can pay to pay cash, those who cannot do a debt swap. And the first one was done in Nairobi, where the two ministers are the ones who chaired the meetings until the process was finalized. Then we went to Mombasa. And we have been doing this across Kenya. The latest to resolve this debt 2 weeks ago was Kisumu. And we also took them through this entire process. They had similar questions and all this. And we as National Housing Corporation, we do not collude with any party towards resolutions of matters of this importance. National Housing Corporation is there to serve the Kenyan people. Just the way this assembly and the county government of Kisumu is there to serve the Kenyan people. For me, it is a service that the corporation offers. That is what we would like to see between us and Kisumu County. And as you have rightly noted, that Kisumu County was the second in Kenya. Those who received the highest number of loans for projects was Kisumu. And we hope that going forward, we resolve debts. I hear the concerns of the members. It's very, very genuine. It's only that we have nothing to hide. It's only that we expect that at one point we will come ourselves. All these issues have been raised in the past, but we will be able to say we have gone through this, and let us proceed, resolve debts. Managers and leaders make decisions if they are convinced that the decisions that they are going to make is for the good, the greater good, the people that they serve. Thank you.
From County Attorney.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. For me, I would say that if you look at the books of the list of decrees that the county owes that are unpaid, outstanding, it is currently running at around 2.5 billion. The biggest decree is for National Housing Corporation, 1.3 billion in our books, of course not theirs. So if the Assembly would assist us release this particular decree from our books, I think we'd be halfway through what we want to be. Thank you very much.
Chief Officer, on behalf of CEC.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe mine is a request. Probably next time we are appearing, if you can do a comprehensive list of what is expected from us, like what caught us off guard today was the issue of the title deed, because when we received the invitation letter, that was not earlier mentioned. So kindly, if we can have a comprehensive document which are supposed to be accompanied with in advance, we really appreciate. Because sometimes we appear, you are requesting for a document, you feel ambushed and you are not carried it. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I want to take the opportunity to thank members from the National Housing Corporation, Office of the Attorney, Departments of Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development, and Department from the Finance for taking the opportunity to come. I also want to thank honorable members. I know we had a lot today. In fact, we are also supposed to rush to that launch that is happening now. It is great indeed that we have deliberated on this matter. This is a matter of county concern and importance. I believe that when I call upon to provide some more information, either from which area, we will be able to do that in the correct time frame that may be provided. I want to thank you for being here today. And the next time we do an invitation, we would love to have the CECs present and the county attorney present, not representations. That was a concern that was brought, and in fact, the members felt that this meeting should not go on without them being in today's meeting. But I'm happy because they sobered up. If that could have been the case, then we could have not reached where we have reached. Thank you, and I believe we will be meeting very soon. The meeting stands adjourned. Thank you very much.